they invaded us with their TikTok. Okay. I think COVID it's got a TikTok thing about it. I feel there's a conspiracy there.
It's like, let's get everyone at home to do dances. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get the virus.
I spy on them.
You see the story. Like, how do we get people to do dances at home? Pandemic. There we go. Nailed it.
See, that's why Trump didn't want TikTok anymore, because he couldn't do the dances.
He's a visionary, that guy. He knows what's up. Like, I got Twitter figured out. Now I must learn how to TikTok. Fuck that.
Pretty much. Yeah,
and this is how Zoom gets us canceled, because Zoom's feeding this right to the White House. Yeah. Zoom is like, look at what these clowns in South Africa are saying about you.
Anything that you wanted to pick up from part 1? Do you want to give us your bit there, Falcone?
About the CD thing?
Yeah.
I forget what the thing was. You kind of like CDs are more managerial and stuff now, right?
Yeah. Like what is your take? Like, is that something that you want to work towards? Like, what does your future hold?
I don't know, man. When I started in advertising, like I really did have some good creative directors, and they were like inspiring guys, and they were guys I wanted can. As far as the dodgy stuff goes, they did the dodgy stuff as well, and that's stuff like, I think you can learn from people, and you can take the best bits from everyone. Like, I mean, everyone has father figures or leaders or people that they look up to and they want to emulate, but nobody's perfect, and they're going to do shady shit. Just don't do the shady shit. You become the person you want to be, right? So as far as being a creative director, I don't know, man. Like, I've kind of chased it for a while, and then when I was kind of close to it, I backed off, because I was like, you're right. I don't want to do the managing of people. I don't want to do the tracking of where jobs are. I don't want to sit in meetings and trying to decipher what client wants and translate it into a creative brief. I just want to do the work. I just want to put on my headphones, listen to hip hop, and like make something pretty. But like, I don't know, like the thing about advertising, at least in this country, is if you're trying to get a salary bump, you can't be a senior art director at 50, unfortunately. Although I would like to be. And I think overseas, that's fine. Overseas, you can be like 40 or 50 working as a senior art director, or even just an art director, and like make a comfortable living and like take care of your family and stuff. But in South Africa, you have to get the title. You have to go up. The only way to like, substantiate your salary is by getting an increase or getting a role adjustment. And I've never cared about like having the title or whatever. Like, I like the way creative director sounds, but you can be the creative director of anything you want to be. Like, you can be the creative director of your own brand or your own fashion label or your own podcast series, whatever, man. Like, I think in South Africa, like being a creative director means, it's just a way to like substantiate a decent salary, because it's a salary that you can like look after your family with. And as a person with a kid, like, if that's the only way I'm going to get like to be able to like look after him and send him to like a decent private school, then I mean, if the job gets offered and like the pay is decent, I'll take it. But as long as I'm doing cool work, man, like if it pulls away from me making cool stuff, then I have to think about it. But I think it's different, man. I think if you're overseas and you're a senior art director at 50, it's not frowned upon. It's not like you haven't made it. It's just like, that's where you are. That's what you want to be. You're doing what you love. And it's cool. I just think, in this country, it's different. You need the title for the money. Yeah. At the end of the day. So that's it. I mean, I want to make cool stuff. But
have you guys actually ever wanted to work overseas in ad agencies there? I mean, I've always wanted to look at Amsterdam, and, they've got a cool vibe happening there, creatively speaking.
Very much keen on that. But there would be things about South Africa that I'd miss too much, I reckon. I don't know. Home is nice. I like home. But I enjoyed what you said about like sort of entering the ad world as a fresh graduate, and you meet these creative directors and you look up to them, and they do have all these awards. that is a good thing. So what I said earlier, I don't think it's a blanket statement that if you're a CD or an ECD, then you're going to be divorced. You're going to be on your third marriage. You're going to be flirting with interns. Obviously, it's also a personality thing and it's a choice thing. But what I will say about that is I think the conditions are very stressful. You have to make some serious decisions, and there's a lot of pressure, which maybe leads to exploring other vices, for instance. So I think that's what I meant with regards to that. And for me, I don't really want to have that kind of administration or bureaucratic pressure to make those decisions and stuff. I just want to. So I remember my creative directors when I was interning at my first agency, Marcel and Penny, and it was amazing because I sat here, and then to my left was Penny, and to my right was Marcel. He was actually one seat over, and and it was just amazing to have that kind of experience and knowledge just at your fingertips, where you could be like, "Can you help me with this?" And I don't know, back then they were executing as well. So that was the cool thing. They were creative directors, but they were working on layouts and sending things out and reviewing. And I don't know, like I never really saw them in meetings that much. And it was just really nice. It felt like a tight-knit studio. And I think as things have progressed, it's a little bit different, because I think even creative directors are, I think they have to be strategists in a way as well, and get involved on that side of things as well. So I think they're more multifaceted, and they're not so much like just the work and the execution, which is, I don't know. It's a little bit of a conundrum, but maybe it's a thing of me needing to adapt, but I really don't want to. I just, I don't know.
You've had creative director experience, and how was it? Like I remember you were a CD for a bit, and like you seemed to enjoy it. Or what did you like about it? What didn't you like about it?
So it depends on the agency. So I did it for about 6 months, and for me, so the agency that I worked for, they needed someone to front up a leg or like a division within the agency that had a particular client. So they needed someone who could operate like maybe on a more executive level, but basically all they needed was someone to set up their little thing while they continue with the work that they were doing. And look, I mean, I think this relates more to the agency, but it was a bit disorganized, and I just had to basically fend for myself, really. So we moved into this house in Four Ways, and that's where we were operating from. But it wasn't a walk-in, the office is ready to operate like an office. It was a house. I had to get there at like 7 a.m. to open the gate, because the gate didn't have a remote. So I had to reach my hand through, unlock a padlock, open for everyone. If someone else came, I would have to. So was I creative director or like a gate opener? I don't know. But I mean, everything. So like I made the guys coffee. It was just, maybe that's just a me thing. I like making coffee for people. But I was,
language.
It wasn't really, exactly. But it was way more administrative than actually sitting down and showing guys techniques. Hey, this is what I've learned in my 10 plus years of experience. Like there's an easier way to do this, share technical things and also conceptual things. So like if you're thinking of this idea, you can approach it from this angle, and you don't need to be so obvious. Or maybe there's areas where you should be a bit more obvious because it needs to be a bit more functional. I wasn't doing any of that stuff. I was like, there's a deadline at 10, it was like, hurry up with this. And then I was also executing at the same time. So not only wasn't I able to like share my experience with everyone else, it was a thing of like, I'm chasing deadlines as well. And then I'm reporting back to these guys, and I'm meeting with clients. And Yeah. So for me, I think that was more the agency I was working at than actually working in that role of creative director. So I don't know what it's like to work at a bigger agency. I can imagine, Dana, you were saying being an intern at an agency like Jupiter Drawing Room. And I remember at the time, like, there was just this aura around Jupiter Drawing Room because they were the best. And as a student, I was like, oh my goodness, that's so hectic. And then when the internship thing came around, I was like, I definitely don't want to go to Jupiter Drawing Room or like any of the big agencies because it's daunting.
Big.
You know, it's daunting. And it's, I think, yeah, that project you got was like a typical project. And I can imagine working at an agency like that and people mistaking you for just like, I don't know, like, oh, this person's job shadowing. You know what I mean? Or this is someone's child who's just, you know.
Yeah.
So
Take a child.
I was very lucky. The agency I worked at, they gave us real jobs from the get-go. And
that is lucky.
And I was hands-on with the CDs. So working at a smaller or a medium-sized agency, you do get to work with those people. And I remember I committed a few faux pas, actually. The one project I was working on was also like a birthday card kind of thing. And I remember the ECD, I actually became quite good friends with him. He said to me, he was like, can you please choose a fancy font? I want this thing to look upmarket and classy for this card. It's a message that's going out to some of our stakeholders and whatever. So I was like, cool, got it, done. Went on to InDesign and I picked a font that I thought was amazing.
Comic Sans.
No Comic Sans. So I was like, let's make this thing look fancy. And I think I chose the most curly, like over elaborate. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't just like a nice serif font. It had all these flourishes and everything. And then I went and I showed him my layout and he was like, we just didn't say anything. He was like, could we try a few other fonts? And he was very polite about it. And then Friday drinks, he just put me on blast in front of everyone. It was like, what are you going to do? Are you going to bring me another layout with Shelley Volante on it? And the whole time I thought like I made like quite considered choice. And yeah, it was like in front of drinks, in front of everyone at drinks, he was like, just as long as you don't use Shelley Volante again, I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
No disrespect
well,
to the font, though.
Way you could do it. Some ECDs would have been really dicks about it. That was kind of
Yeah, that was a nice way because when obviously you want to impress your ECD and you think you've nailed it. You think you've got the font. Obviously, that's where you were at. And then he's like, you could get the guys that will say, throw their toys out and just like rip you to pieces. And then you go like crying in the bathroom. But like that was a nice way that he did it, just try a few more options, maybe, another 2 or 3, maybe less curly, Yeah, it's a cool way.
And then let me know about it over Friday drinks in front of everyone.
Yeah.
I suppose, that is a good way.
No, that's,
What a champ.
I remember, I don't know if you guys ever were petrified of reviews.
Oh, always.
Like agency review or like, your work. I remember one of the agencies I worked at, I think we had a review on like a Tuesday and a Friday. So there were 2 reviews a week. And I promise, I was petrified like every single time. Like, you'd get like maybe one person being enthusiastic about it and be like, okay, cool, maybe a few tweaks and we'll sign it off whenever or whatever. But it's a very rare occasion that happens. It's like 1 or 2. Then you'll get the reviews where, like, again, we know the hours you slave away and you think you nailed it and you've explored what you thought was 7 million options of layout, font design, photography, image selection, whatnot. You've done literally everything you think, and then it will get ripped to pieces in that review in front of everyone. And oh my God. And I remember there were different like departments. So it wasn't just the creative team. It would be like other account managers that weren't necessarily involved in your account or your brands that you were working on. Man, that was rough. Yeah.
I remember the one time we were working late as an intern. We were doing a campaign for an insurance company, and we were working late, and we had a review, and we thought we'd nailed it. ECD came in and he was like, please explore these routes, you guys are on the right track and whatever. And for some reason, I don't know whether it was we just didn't have faith in ourselves, but we were like, no, we need to push this other route and whatever. And we worked like pretty much through the night, and then went home, slept for a few hours, came back the next morning. We showed our ECD and he was like, option 1 and 2 are cool. What's this third option you've got here? And what we had done, because we were working late, I think we had a few drinks and we had a few like aha moments we thought were aha moments. And what we did was we took Skulk Burger's body, right? Because he was like the spokesperson for this particular brand. And we found, one of those like naked calendar shoots they do for like rugby. So we took this guy who's just holding a rugby ball over his private, right? And we photoshopped his face on it, and we came up with this line. It was like, Skulk's always got his assets covered or something like that.
Wow.
And it was like outsurance. And we thought this is amazing. And we showed him, and he was like,
winning.
he was like, you guys were fucking around. I was like, yeah, we were. But again, same ECD, and he was just chilled. He was like, maybe not show this one.
So we're not going to bring this to the pitch.
Yeah, 1 and 2 will be fine. And okay. It was actually a pitch. I don't think we had the client.
Wow. Hey, you never know. There could be forward-thinking clients.
Faux pas.
Like it.
Yeah, faux pas for days. I don't suppose any of you guys have any faux pas with your...
No.
Mini.
You guys are slick. You guys are pros. You're not like me. Come on.
Can't think of any offhand. You, Donna?
Yeah, many. It's scenarios like that where you think you're being so creative and so clever. I think when you try too hard to be clever, it's going to bite you in the ass. Like, or you'd go into a client pitch, and you'd have your whole team. I don't know what it is though about pitches, because pitches, there's always that last minute scramble. Like you'd have the brief months in advance, but then I don't know, you'd be at the office 3 days in a row, no showers, no whatever. You'd have like pizza delivery, those last few days, like the scramble, and then you think you have a masterpiece. And you usually get, like what you do with a pitch, you go in with your number one, but there's always a backup. There's always like like that slight backup that sometimes, okay, if our eggs are in this basket, number one, but in case they say no, because we've had the hard nose in the meeting, in the pitch, and then we're like, okay, hold on, here's something else. Okay, so you always have that plan B. And sometimes that plan B, what you think is the faux pas, or like you think we've got our prized possession here, number one, you think it's all there, and you're like, okay, well, no, let's just go with B. And that gets signed off, or you lose the pitch.
Well, it's also kind of like you say, you've got the brief like months in advance, and you've got time to work on it. But sometimes you work on it a bit too much, and then you over-engineer it. And it reminds me of that meme. If you like picking your date up, make sure you pick her up on time, because otherwise, if you're like 15 minutes late, she'll over-elaborate with the outfit and the makeup. And I don't know, have you seen that meme? Where it's like me.
You need to cut to it.
Because when you have too much time, your imagination runs away from you, and that's what happened to me. I had time to go hunting for some body glitter, which in hindsight wasn't even body glitter, it was straight up craft glitter.
No, exactly. It's like I've got 15 minutes extra. Let me just add a bit of this, and it's just like, yeah.
That's what Jacque did on one of your dates, hey?
He's
I don't know.
forward
I
to
feel
the
like
end.
Jacque would have done that.
No.
Yeah,
Jacques,
well,
he's
Waiting.
my eyebrows too much. Trying to get them too on fleek is the thing. No, man. But as far as overcooking, I think over executing is a thing in pitches. Like I've been in pitches where we literally did like every single billboard we thought we could, and every single like social post, and every single. Where I always think of pitches like show like your thinking, right? You show your thinking. Here's 2 or 3 examples of like what we could do with this big idea. And I've been in pitches where we've done like fucking, I don't know, man, like street polls for days. I don't even know if people told the street poll that.
direct mailers.
Yeah, all the way down William Nickel. How many street polls can we fill down William Nickel? We've done all the street polls, direct mail piece, and oh fuck me, and 3 different versions of like the same script. Like, I don't know, man. Like I hate pitches. Like I must be honest with you. Like I hate pitches. That's my. I know it's such a big part of our industry, and it's how we win business. And like as you get more senior, like you're more in charge of like pitching. But fuck, man, it depends who you're working with. I've had ECDs on pitches that were like ridiculous, and I've had really cool ECDs. Like I remember the first pitch I think I ever worked on was for Plascon, and our ECD, like what we did was really cool. Like I wasn't involved with the actual work, like cause I was like a junior, like I wasn't an intern, but I was like a super junior, and I didn't get involved with the conceptual work or whatever. But like I was tasked with building like a room. So they're like, we're gonna put up walls, we're gonna paint all the different new colors that the Plascon has on the walls. You're in charge. You're gonna paint stuff on this. You're gonna paint like the walkway. You're gonna paint, and that was fucking cool. Like I was like, cool. I started this job, and it was obviously they just gave me like a task to keep me busy. But I enjoyed it. I was like, this is a way a pitch should be done. And I painted like Plascon signs, but I painted in all their various shades, and I was like, that's fucking cool. But yeah, man, like I hate pitches just because it is that thing where you've had this brief for like months, and then like a week prior to like the delivery date, they go, okay, here you go, creative, make it work. And you're like sitting there every night executing and eating pizza. It's like, you guys did this for months. We could have spoken about this idea 3 weeks ago, didn't finish at a weekend, and like seen my girlfriend or whatever it was at the time. You know what I mean? Like it always comes down to like, okay, we've fucked with this for like so long. Here you go. You got 3 days.
Yeah.
And
it was either you had like the general idea, so you could sometimes you could get away with just having that concept, but then other times where you really like you want that client, so then you'd over execute and you do every street poll ad from Gauteng to Durban. you know, the concept has legs, guys. Let's show you where this can go, like years down the line. Like, please hire us.
and you always propose things that are way over budget in the pitch.
Always.
And then when it's approved, it's like, oh, did we say we could get Beyonce in the country?
I've actually been in a pitch where someone said they could get Beyonce in the country. It was Kanye. I'm not going to say for which brand, but like, oh yeah, it was Kanye. They were trying to get Kanye. Kanye was going to come and perform like in little hole in the wall places all across the country. Yeah, well, I don't think they got Kanye.
I actually saw him. I saw him when he came with Jay-Z, Jigga. Diamonds in the Sky.
At the Fresh Stop.
At the Fresh Stop, yeah. Him and Kanye, sure, I think it was at the Dome. They did like a cool, like one of those castle type of concerts, you know. And that was nice. I just remember I think I had like a BlackBerry at the time, and I remember everyone was doing the Diamonds in the Sky thing. Yeah, good times.
Well,
yeah, but I mean, I could have asked him to get Beyonce for you if you wanted.
Damn it! I didn't know you then. Had I known, we could have won that pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was on the same stage as Beyonce. I'm just saying. All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You and Beyonce. Look at your 6 degrees. Your 6 degrees of separation is like 2 now.
Yeah.
Well, I know Beyonce.
I know how to win pitches.
Yeah.
Undercut the competitor and nepotism. Easy.
Yeah, there we go.
About the work.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Okay, so are we ready for today's feature? You guys ready?
Sorry, I maybe you probably want to do that again.
No, it's fine. I think it's time to get to today's feature, right? So last time we did I Know a Guy. Today we are going to do just looking at my notes. Buzz terms. Do we need them? That's the name of the feature. Can we have the jingle?
Buzz terms. Do we need them?
Okay.
Like falsetto. I got no.
So I'm just basically gonna recite a few of these buzz terms. First of all, we can discuss like what we think they mean, because some of them are a little bit ambiguous or maybe just don't make sense. And then we're gonna say, do we need them? And we're gonna vote. Okay, so the first one is actually my favorite. So I'm putting the best right up front. And I think Dan is actually the perfect person to have for this segment, because you are in digital strategy and there's a lot of buzz terms floating around. Okay, so the first one we've got is channel agnostic.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a biggie.
What is our understanding of this term?
It's a channel that doesn't go to church.
It's an atheist.
Atheist channel, exactly.
Atheist, Jesus for what? I love that term, because you could bring that to your agency and say, we want a channel agnostic campaign, go. And if they should know what it is, we all know what it is. It's going everywhere.
They just don't.
It go everywhere. It lives everywhere.
Okay. So the word I'm proposing for this, which we've used before, broad.
Broad
reach. Right? Do we need this word, channel agnostic? I would love to meet the person who came up with this word, because someone said it in the meeting and they were like, yeah, channel agnostic. And then it just spread. And then people are saying it now, which is fine. I mean, I've got nothing against saying it, but do we need it? Yay or nay for channel agnostic?
I'm going to say yay. I think it's hilarious. It's
classic strategy.
Okay, let's get to the next one. The next one is also one of my favorites. It's close runner-up to channel agnostic. Tissue session.
Oh, yeah.
What is standing
for the tissue session is because it always ends in tears. You always think a tissue session is going to be light and fluffy, and let's just discuss like the big idea. And then client goes, "But where's my emailers?" And you go, "That's not what this session is about." I think tissue sessions and things of that nature need to be managed by client service and go, "This is what you're going to expect," because you get into a tissue session and then client's like, "But where's my 360 campaign? Where's my channel agnostic campaign?" And you go, "That's not what this is about, man." So I think we need to get rid of fucking tissue sessions, because it's never what it is.
It's never. And the thing is that because they're supposed to be malleable. Like the whole idea of a tissue session is that it's a working session in a way. Like just call it a working session then, or like a workshop or So tissue session, they never really have an agenda, and you don't know what to expect or what the agency is coming back with, or you know what I mean. Scrap it. I'm a no.
I'm a no on that one as well. And I think our biggest issue with that is the fact that it already sets you up for something negative. It's a tissue session. It's not like the tissues are there just in case. It's a tissue session. They will definitely be used. There's going to be tears. And I don't know.
And you're the one that's going to cry.
Yeah. I mean, a better term for this would probably be, I've just got your workshop session or a feedback session. Or imagine if you could just come up with like a light, fluffy name for it, a rainbow session.
Whoa! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Aww.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Guys are going to have a super fun joy rainbow session, because then you're like, hey, this is going to be amazing. You go in with a little bit of
Pin that.
hostility.
How about
Okay.
that buzzword? Pin it. Pin the rainbow
Pin it.
session.
I don't think it's going to pick up. Okay. This one is also one of my favorites, and it's kind of a recent one. It's called, well, the term is ways of working. Have you guys heard the phrase?
Yeah.
Not often, but
It's been dropped in a couple of times. We just need to, in light of this COVID pandemic, we have to adjust our ways of working. And they're saying it like a phrase. Just say processes.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing my ways of working anyway. Like nothing's really changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my process. It's fine.
I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to scrap that. Is that a no? I think it's a no.
Okay, it's a no from me, obviously. All of these are no for me. But anyways, so now we're moving into market segments where you kind of like classify people within an LSM or whatever.
Oh, I haven't heard that in a while. LSM.
LSM. What about a SWOT analysis?
That was a big buzzword. Yeah.
SWOT analysis was one of my favorites.
SWOT and pestle.
So this one is curators of cool. If anyone says that in a meeting.
Oh, wow. That's hysterical. Curators of cool.
What does that even mean?
That's not even a thing.
It's not a
thing.
Okay,
No.
so on the same tip, this one really killed me. I got it. It was in a brief. They outlined this as a market segment that they want to penetrate. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I know penetration as well. Woke pioneer.
No.
Guys, we're targeting woke pioneers.
Woke pioneers.
Yeah. Look, the fact that they use the word woke in a brief. No. Hard no.
It's gone. Even your email said no there. Okay.
Yeah. Jacque, what do you think? The woke. I mean,
I'm just trying to understand, are they pioneers who are woke, or are they pioneers of using the term woke?
So my understanding of it was these guys are champions of wokeness. So these are the guys that are ultra woke, and they are the influencers of what it means to be woke. So they like, it means nothing, right?
Okay. No, that's horrible.
Okay.
I mean,
okay, the next one, I mean, this one's a gimme, right? New normal.
oh yeah. We spoke about that earlier.
Yeah.
New normal.
Unprecedented times.
Uncertain times, new normal.
I don't think we ever need to use this word. Just say we are super adaptable to our time.
Yeah.
Adaptable.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what new normal means, right? It just means you're getting used to something.
Yeah. Yeah. We're adapting, we're changing to the current uncertain times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, yeah,
What
that
happened
would.
when polio came out? Did like people have to adapt to the new normal when there was polio?
The Spanish flu. Hey guys, it's the new normal.
The first person who ever said that, they must.
1918.
They were like, burn him at the stake. They were like, cool, I don't know what the fuck this guy on. Burn him. He must have the disease.
Burn him. It's okay, guys. We're just getting used to the new normal here. Everyone burns at the stake.
That would make it really bad if there's just like a bunch of villagers with like pickaxes and fire, not tiki torches, and they're like, guys, we have to get used to the new normal.
Ye old new normal.
I love it.
I know. Okay. So the next one, this one's been around for a while, but I remember the first time hearing this in a packed boardroom. And it was like, you know, when your heart just drops and you feel like, oh, something serious is happening. The first time I heard the term big data.
Oh, That's a nice one.
Like, ooh, what is this? And then this person knew what big data was, and they expanded on this concept, and I was like, wow, I'm really out of the loop here. I don't know what big data is. What could it possibly
That
be?
guy had some big data energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a position, big data analyst, you know, and they put that on their business card, and they're like, I analyze big data. I want to come up with small data. Do you think that would catch?
Mini. What about medium?
Micro.
Medium. Medium to large.
Yeah, we interviewed one guy. He said this, so we're doing this.
Okay. So big data, anything?
I don't know, man.
What does it mean?
It's just a fancy term for data, really. Right? Just bigger and better.
I know, but it was just such a daunting thing.
That was a thing. I remember that when that term first came out, that was a thing everywhere. It went viral. That's another buzz term. That term went viral fast. Big data, data. Yeah.
Okay. Let's pick out another one here from the list. What about snackable content?
I love a good snack.
Okay, so I have to go with a yes for that. Snackable. It means it's easy to absorb. And, you know, because I'm in digital marketing now, we need snackable content. It's going to be small little chunks of, you know, the bigger picture, but segmented snippets of stuff. You could have a series, publish at different times, you know, package it different ways. I'm for it, I've got to say.
I'm actually okay with snackable content because I'll tell you why. It is easy to understand. You know what it means. There's no hidden meaning or trying to say something that has no meaning and putting a lot of meaning into it. So I'm okay. Jacque?
Yeah.
Snackable. As
Jacque,
long as it's snack. Would a tasty video can be considered as snackable content?
Definitely.
If it's cut down, obviously. If it's like
if it's cut,
60
snackable portions.
Or if you were doing like mini cheddars, that's snackable content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it did there.
Microchip.
Because it's a snack. Okay, so the last one, right? I love it when people say in meetings, we need to create content that is thumb stopping.
Ooh.
Thumb stopping. Oh, never heard that one.
I've not personally heard that, but I get it. I mean, makes sense because people are on the mobiles, people are online now more than ever before. That's also a thing now more than ever before. What's a thumb stoppable?
Thumb stopping.
Thumb stopping. Yeah, I find it lame. Sorry.
One of my favorite ones. So,
Sorry, Ryan.
I think on average, people scroll through about 8 kilometers of content a day. 8 kilometers.
Some work on fleek.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you guys just believed that as well. I just made up.
I've heard something like that, but I think it was 15. I heard 15 kilometers actually. 15 kilometers.
It is actually a lot of just scrolling. Yeah, I know. Anyways, so that concludes buzz terms. Do we need them? And I think only how many survived? 2. I think Work Pioneer survived. No.
No. That's the worst one.
Work Pioneer. I'm going to use that in my next brief.
Yes, just to throw a little bit of a curveball.
It's actually, the script is flipped. I'm now the brand and I brief agencies. And obviously, I brief agencies a lot, and because I've come from a place where, you know, brief is king. Everything, you have to have a good brief. I know how to write a good brief, so I'm quite happy that I, you know, especially when you're collaborating with agencies. But I'm going to use that for my next one.
I always thought content is king.
Content is king. Brief is king.
Okay, so I think we're going to wrap up. So now we have a chance to mention any cool projects that we're working on. If you want to plug anything, follow Dana at, what is your Instagram handle? It's like Dana the Don.
The Don and Only.
Yes.
I'm basically the godfather. Even my mug, my coffee mug has my name.
Cool.
Don. Yeah.
But also because you don amazing outfits all the time, right? That's what I always thought it was.
That's yeah, we could go with that.
Yeah. So what are you donning? Isn't that a thing? Sorry, I'm not cool.
We'll make it a thing.
The Don and Only. So we've also got a fellow gangster in the house, Falcone.
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 I think I saw that and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I feel like the Don and Falcone, there's something there. Do you have a story behind that? I mean, I got another story, but that could be for a drinking session.
No cool story. I was a nerd in school and I was rapping and I used to read a lot of comic books, and Batman's arch nemesis was Carmine Falcone. And I was like, I really like mafia movies. I thought it sounded cool and I wanted to be Italian. So Falcone was the rap name I chose, and people still call me Falcon, which is annoying. So
Sorry.
Falcon. So yeah, I think it was just a cool rap name, and now it's just stuck. Well, I'm trying to make it unstuck, but it's there now. So
yeah, me too. Like with the Don, it also happened many years ago, and it was almost given to me, you know, like a real godfather. It was given to me, and I started using it because it was a joke at first in my inner circle, and then I actually kind of liked it because it was a play on Dana the Don, and then Dana the Don became a thing, and yeah, I just loved it. And basically, well, my Gmail is now Dana the Don, so
yes,
I can't really change that. But yeah.
I remember, so earlier this year, Jacque and I went to Cape Town, and we're just walking the streets of Cape Town, like it's not even a thing. And then all of a sudden there was this guy who was like, "Hey, Falcone." I was like, wow, this guy's got rep even in Cape Town. Yeah. And he was like, "Yo, when are we going to collab? Blah, blah, blah. I'm actually shooting a big gig." And I was like, damn, this guy's connected.
Yeah. It was like random. It was like
on random.
Long streets or something. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm in these streets.
Yeah. We only walked up that street because I gave the wrong directions. Remember?
Yeah.
I was like, we're going in the right way. We weren't. Anyways. So yeah. Any cool projects to speak of? We'll follow you.
Just nothing in advertising. I've just finished. I've produced. I've done like 6 of 10 tracks for a guy called Inspector Gadgets and his brother Pava Guns, and they've released a tape called Pablo and Gustavo 2. So it's the second installment of the Pablo and Gustavo series, which I produced the initial, some of the initial tracks on. So if you guys do a search on SoundCloud or Audio Mac, it's not on Spotify yet, but yeah, Pablo and Gustavo 2 by Inspector Gadget and Pava Guns. I've produced about 60% of the project, or yeah, 60-70% of the project. So check it out when you have some time between this pod and your next one. Listen to that. That's my plug. Thanks.
That's Inspector with a T-A-H, right? Inspector.
Obviously, with a K-T-A-H. Inspector.
Okay, cool.
It's ghetto.
Okay.
It's gangster.
And Dana, you're always involved in awesome stuff.
So it's actually funny, you know, in lockdown, you know, people were almost, it was like a thing to do stuff and create your own content and whatnot. And, you know, I think everyone experienced like ups and downs. For me, you know, I've channeled 100% of my energy and creativity into my work, because for me, it's my passion. I'm doing what I love. I do video. I do a lot of really cool stuff for my job. It's almost like my side hustle in a way, because I just love everything about it. And I get to do production and strategy and video and social and everything digital, because the world is digital right now. So yeah, I'm living that anyway. But I guess maybe a project that I had released earlier in the year was something really cool. We were actually lucky to have shot it because it was just before lockdown. And so the brand I'm working at, it's a global company, and we have representatives, we have offices around the world. And the project that I had been wanting to do for a long time actually was a project for International Women's Day. And I wanted to create a really meaningful video for that. And yeah, I basically ran it. I got the approval from my CMO. I had everything in place. I had the agency that I wanted. The budget was, it was great. And yeah, I had everything signed off, all the pieces. I filmed it. It was really tough getting the footage, obviously, from our regions around the world, but we did it. And it's something that I'm so proud of. And yeah, so that, I'm living and doing my side projects in real life. But I guess, I don't know if you know, but I have a company it's kind of dormant at the moment because I'm 100% into what I'm doing now. But I do, when I was actually working for myself for a little bit, I created a company called Baby I Love You. And there's a lot of, it actually started with the film projects that I did. So I used to enter a lot of film projects, script writing competitions. One of my first short films, it won a lot of, that one won awards. Okay, so I know we're not into awards, but it was a film project, and it got like audience awards. We got nominated. I got nominated for best producer. It was so much fun. And at the time I had entered this competition, it was meant to just be the competition. But we had to enter a team name, and I came up with this name, Baby I Love You. And then I actually registered that as a company because I actually wanted to do this for the rest of my life. I wanted to just do film. That was me. Anyway, so over the years, I always entered competitions. I've done short films here and there, entered script writing things. And yeah, so the Baby I Love You kind of became like an umbrella for a lot of creative things I was doing. And then when I started working for myself for a little bit of time, I actually, I didn't have a website or anything, but over the years I had done, the side projects like logos, you do, I don't know, like a CR, or you do like, you'd help people, but you charge like a small handful of rents of, when you're younger. And yeah, it kind of developed from there. And it was just a word of mouth thing. And when I started freelancing, the funny thing was that I got like so many calls, and I had no website, nothing. I didn't advertise myself, but just people would just come out of the woodworks, and I would just start doing really interesting projects. So yeah, but again, that's dormant at the moment because I'm living what I'm doing, and I'm getting to do my videos, which I'm totally passionate about. I've just started I'm doing a video project with all of the regions now. I'm just taking it to all of them. I'm doing long hour presentations with them. Yeah, and then of course, just on the side, I guess personally, I've, again, over the years, I've released short films, and the last short film I did was a documentary. It was a dance documentary. I used to dance at a really kind of, they were just mind-blowing. It was an African community, or like a community in Braamfontein, where we did contemporary art, contemporary dance and Afrofusion. There was like a really cool Afrofusion. I used to do a few shows there. Anyway, I was fascinated with how they came about, and I love everything that they do, and everything they do is so meaningful. And yeah, I created a really cool documentary about them. in 2017. It made it like into the top 20 of the Discovery Channel shortlist.
What's it called?
It's called Dance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Dance. Really, really interesting pieces. Like the pieces that they choreograph, actually, they're statements on society and problems and, you know, a lot of things that we're all going through. Again, that was at the time, but yeah, it was a very, very cool project I did. And because I knew the guys, it was so cool. I got to see them rehearsing in a different way, you know, behind the scenes, and yeah, it was really cool. And then just in lockdown, I've done like a really silly film on my phone called A Plant Movie.
That's awesome.
I did a plant movie. It's about the delicious monster. You know, take a look on my Instagram.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, so I guess that sums up my little creative outlets.
Cool. So just hearing you speak there, and you know, you sound so enthusiastic and excited about your job, and like you say, you're pouring your passion into your actual job, and that's almost like your side hustle, you know. Mm. So how does it feel to be on a show where you just got these two guys slating the advertising industry and being super disillusioned? How does that feel?
You know what? We always joke that, you know, my colleague was saying, because we were just talking, and we're like, if you work in an agency, you've got the scars. I feel like we've all got the scars, and there is a certain amount of disillusionment with the industry, and you know, you have the moments where you're like, why am I doing this? Why did I sign up for this? Why did I do my 5th Vega course? You know, and yeah, it almost, I don't know, the passion for me takes precedence with all of those things, because it's about the work and the stuff that you actually produce. Yeah, I've had experiences where, you know, there's been terrible management and toxic people and stuff like that, and it is draining. And of course, being in an industry where there are different kinds of ECDs and personalities, and they'll run your work down just because they're jealous or something, you know, but you just have to know it's not you and it's not your work. Like, your work is your portfolio. You'll always have that. And that's what's always kept me going. It's the work, and it's my showreel. I don't care, even though it's like, maybe it's a stupid project or whatever, but you know what, like, it actually made it onto TV. Yeah. It's a commercial, and it's out there, and it's part of my showreel, and I'm proud of it. You know. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously I'm joking, you know, like I mean, I think we can just put that straight out there. If I really hated the industry, I'd be doing something else. You know, it wouldn't just be sitting there, you know, like just constantly slating it. And, you know, it is funny. And I do think it's cathartic, at least to, yeah, you know, delve into these themes. And it's funny because, I mean, they are cliches for a reason, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's just light banter. That's all it is.
Light banter.
Light banter.
You know? The tissue session.
Tissue session, exactly. But yeah, I mean, my passion for is probably the people in advertising. I really like the people in advertising and the kind of people the industry attracts. So that for me is cool, and that's why we're doing the show, so we can have a whole bunch of different opinions and different experiences. And yeah, it's just a not so safe place to just share.
Look, I must say, you know, now that I'm on the other side now, so I'm the client, and we hire the agencies, and I never thought I'd be there. I thought I would be the agency for the rest of my life. And I mean, but you're still the agency while you're working in the brand, because you have to know the brand and you have to be able to brief the agency. You have to work alongside the agency. You've got to have that synergy. And, you know, for one of my projects, I remember the agency came back to me, and there were like glimpses that I kind of missed a little bit from that life. But you know, being the brand, you know, you embrace and you love the agency. We love working with agencies because there's nothing like it, honestly. And yeah, having been there and now I'm on the other side, it's weird. And honestly, I mean, I'm in corporate now. I work in a corporate building, you know, it's weird. But still creative because I'm in marketing. But yeah, I think being the brand, you get the best of both worlds because you have to act as the agency. You know, a lot of brands are going in-house. So they need those agency positions anyway. So we're the agency, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it never really left me. But it's a fascinating place to be.
Yeah, it's something that I'm actually quite excited about. Like, I like the connection between agency and corporate or the client. And I think you can actually get a lot more efficient or effective results if you work closely with the client. So that's something I'm actually quite interested in. And a lot of like those ideas I've adopted on a smaller scale with some of my like freelance clients. And yeah, like one of those things is actually working with them rather than they come to you and they give you a brief and you must just provide a solution. So I always try and, like, with my clients, make them involved, not make them feel involved, but actually involve them and say, you actually come up with a lot more interesting results. So like, if you say, what does this brand mean to you? Where did the idea come from? You can actually find like really cool things instead of just saying, I think it should be this because this is the latest trend and whatever. And you can actually, another buzzword, brand story. You can uncover like a very compelling brand story, you know, if you involve your clients a bit more. So yeah, it's interesting. I've actually been considering getting into corporate. So yeah, just anyone listening.
I heard you.
I'm available.
I heard you.
That's my plug. Yeah, so I think, that's basically it. We should maybe let people know how they can contact us if they want to share any of their advertising stories, or they just want to say hi. I don't know. Maybe you can email us at bleedadvertising@gmail.com. That's an email address that we're going to be using. So far, inbox 0. What did you say?
Is that a real address?
The real address.
Okay.
Twitter, you can add us at Bleed Show. Instagram is bleed_advertising. YouTube is Bleed Advertising with a space. And then if you want to support the show, we are at Bleed Advertising, Bleed Space Advertising on Patreon. And this will also be a podcast at some stage as well. So yeah, same name. And that's it. End of the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. This was fantastic.
Thanks for joining us.
I loved it so much.
Yeah,
Great
thanks
to
for
have
coming on the show. And I guess we get to have a nice Saturday now.
Yeah.
I always find that the end of the show is always so awkward. It's like, guys, we're done now, but let's hang out.
Well, should we do like, I don't know if you'll have time for this, but you know, in your previous episode, you mentioned something about puns.
Oh, bring it on.
And I was so inspired. You see, anything inspires me, and who doesn't love a good pun? And I wrote them down even, guys. You see, this Ryan knows that I research and stuff. So you mentioned something about the KFC vegan chicken. Now I'm a pescatarian. I'm not a vegan per se, but I'm a pescatarian, so I guess I could relate. But you mentioned also something about the your Nando's project that you had done with the Madonna and the Virgin. What was the line there, Ron?
Plucked for the very first time.
Plucked. So I had another one for us. Okay, guys, get this. Just breathe. This is big. Okay, so KFC vegan chicken, never been plucked.
Nice. Like vegan.
I've never been kissed. You know, there's a movie, Never Been Kissed, Never Been Plucked.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Got it.
I got more. So you mentioned something about the knob and the handle thing. What was that?
The real
company.
Just Handle
The
It.
real company. Just Handle It. So I have two here. Okay. One, Jacque, you're gonna love this, and I wish you and Jay-Z could maybe like collaborate on the jingle, but it's a hard knob life. It's a hard knob life.
I love it. Okay. Yeah.
You know, I'll call Jigga and
Call them up. Listen, Hove.
Hey,
This is
babe.
rapper. Listen. How's Beyonce? How's the twins?
That
Hard
could
knob
be
life.
like the payoff line for maybe a strip club.
Well,
I had another one for the knob one. Obviously, we'd get Jack Nicholson. We'd hire him as our face of the brand.
Naturally.
And then he'll say, you want the truth. You can handle the truth. Handle.
Got it.
Just Handle It.
Okay, so that's me, guys. That's my mic drop.
Make it print that. So the truth would be written on the door. And then
Yes.
there's no hand. Can't handle the truth, man.
Guys, collaboration.
Got it.
This is
Look
insane.
at us.
Yeah. Head.
Teams work.
You can't handle the truth if you don't have a handle. Got you.
Got you. But the truth is the door. Metaphoric. You can't handle it.
You really want the truth? You can't
You have to-
handle it.
Oh boy.
And on that note,
Oh,
and on that
that's
Yeah,
brilliant.
I think it's time to cut.